All right, we're back here on the field of 68 after dark, joined by Steve Prohm, Stadium's Jeff Goodman. I'm Jim Root, your host. Talked a little about some bubble teams, guys. I want a quick mention, just because it'd be a shame not to, with Steve here having coached at Murray State. The Racers, they swept Belmont tonight, completed that sweep, blew them out, really, just completely made that not a game at all. Racers look like a fairly safe bet to be in the NCAA tournament with what they did in the non-conference. We talked about it a little one of the breaks, Steve, but I want to get more of an extended take here. What do you think the ceiling is for Murray State, and how cool is it for a town like that supports the school the way it does to have a team that's this good this year?
Well, it's phenomenal, and really happy for Matt, former assistant of mine. Happy for the community, the town. Obviously, we got a lot of relationships and connections there, and spent a lot of time there and there now, or in the area. But you could see if you watch the game tonight, I mean, they probably had 8,000 people in there. Terrific atmosphere. They've won 17 games in a row. The one thing that, the team's just starting to come on everybody's radar a little bit these last couple of weeks. Finally have gotten their AP ranking, top 25 coaches poll ranking. They've moved into the top 20. They've had star power there in the past with Cannon and Cameron Payne and John Morant. This team does it a little bit differently. They just collectively are really, really good. They're fundamentally sound on both ends of the floor. I think Matt's a phenomenal coach. They're efficient offensively. They're tough on defense. They had 3 guys score 30 points in wins this year. Juice Hill, the point guard, Tevin Brown, the wing, KJ Williams, the big kid in the middle. They're older. Juice Hill's, a junior college transfer, been in the program 2 years. Tevin Brown, KJ, they've won tournament games. They played with Jaws, great run that they had a couple years back. I think they legitimately, if they can get the right seeding and the right matchups, I really believe this team can get through the first weekend and be the first Murray State team to get to the Sweet 16, and obviously really pulling for them.
Yep, they are fully capable. I'm impressed every time I watch them. They can win in multiple ways. Like, they can go get hot from the outside, but they can also D you up. They really did that tonight against Belmont.
I mean, they've beaten Chattanooga, at home. They've won at Memphis. They beat Belmont. And Belmont, I mean, you look at some of Belmont's wins. Belmont beat Chattanooga. Belmont beat St. Louis. They beat Iona. They beat Furman.
Pounded Belmont twice.
And they have beat Belmont 20 on the road and 30 at home. Right. And it's because Matt's team is balanced. I think guys understand their roles at a high level. And Trey Hannibal, Collins, the transfer from Davidson, Burns, those guys understand your energy guys, your toughness guys, you're the glue guys. And then KJ, Tevin, and Juice, do obviously a lot of the scoring and facilitating, but it's a phenomenal team that's really bought in. You don't win 17 games in a row and have a chance to be the 6th team in the history of the league, in an 80-year league, to go undefeated and not be legit.
Yeah, Steve, why is Murray such a good, again, you look through the coaches that have come there and everybody's won and moved on. And Matt's going to be next. We know that. Matt should get a high major job this year. And I think
no question.
What makes Murray, some of these mids are just built to win, a lot of them. And it's, is the fan support, is it the reason? What is it at Murray State?
Man, they came one year. They came and said, "What's in the water in Murray, Kentucky?" And it's true. It's they're 2 hours from Nashville, from the airport. You speed to get recruits to campus. Because you don't want them in the car that long. You throw them an iPad. Hey, watch the iPad, and we'll be there in a little bit. I think it's obviously there's been really good players come through there. I mean, really good players. Obviously, very good coaches and coaching staffs, but the community is entrenched in that program. You can have good teams at the mid-major level, but do they show up with 8,000? Right. Do they show up with 8,500? Yep. And consistently do that when you have legit teams? That doesn't happen. I just think the tradition is phenomenal. I think the fan support is terrific. And there is, when you put that Murray State jersey on, I think there has a uniqueness about it that's different. Now, transitioning into the Valley will be different. I think, the record, their record against Valley opponents has been really good over the last decade, but playing a conference schedule week in, week out is different than playing teams in a non-conference. And so there'll be an adjustment period. But that program
the bottom of the OVC. The bottom of the OVC isn't nearly
that's
the
what
bottom
hurts
of
you,
the valley.
because every game in the valley, you can't circle one. Right. Sometimes you may be able to circle some in the Ohio Valley. I can circle here, circle there. You can't do that in the Missouri Valley. So that'll be the biggest change. But the elite teams that Murray's had over the last decade and beyond can without question compete and hold their own and compete for championships in that league. And but Matt, the job he's done, this is, really 4 of the last 5 years they've won the conference championship, and 3 of the last 4 years, they're going to be in the 3 of the last 5, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I've just been, like I said, impressed every time I turn them on and watch them. I'm like, this doesn't feel like an Ohio Valley team. They feel like a team that's going to play with whoever they get matched up with in March, because
but all those good teams that they've had there, they've been able to win out of conference. They've beaten high majors. They've won in the tournament.
You've all had good guards.
And they've had legit guards.
Yes.
I mean, how many programs in the country, just think about this, and we don't have to talk about them forever here, but you go NBA point guard to NBA point guard to NBA point guard, and 2 of them are lottery picks.
Yeah, that's hard to do. You can't
but
say
what
that
it does,
about like any school, much less Murray State.
That's what I'm saying is, what school can say that? Yeah. And then what it does, though, it sets it up for guys like Tevin Brown, that he's going to get opportunities now. Right. KJ is going to get opportunities.
He's not transferring out of there where he could have after last year.
Yeah, KJ is going to get opportunities to play at the next level. Shaq Buchanan, that's played on Morant's team, he's had a 10-day now with Memphis. But if you look at the league, Belmont's had pros, Ian Clark, Dylan Windler. SEMO's had some pros. Tennessee State, we beat Robert Covington in the championship game 1 year. Yeah. The league has been at the top. Like I said, the top half of that league, they've had pros here in this last decade. It's been very competitive at the top.